Today's topic, I want to cover basically the way that God helped me overcome the sin that every man, legit, almost every man struggles to deal with. And I'm pretty sure you can tell which one I'm talking about, and that's lust. And now there's many videos on how to beat lust, but somehow you're here. You still haven't beaten it. And this video is to point out, oh wow, stuttering on my words. And this video is to explain exactly how to beat it, and not beat it, but finally overcome it, and for it to disappear. Because it's possible. With God, anything's possible, right? Well, before I jump in on how Jesus helped me overcome this ginormous battle, I want to read to you the scripture of Matthew 6:33. It's a famous scripture, by the way. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Basically saying that if you seek his kingdom and his righteousness, everything else that you're desiring will be added to you. And all your not your problems, but your battles will go away. Jesus will fight them for you. Like it says in the Bible that Jesus will fight your battles for you and with you. And I'm going to explain. Now I'm going to tell you my personal story on how I basically, not me, because I didn't do this, how God helped me overcome such thing. Now I want to start off by saying that this whole lust thing, we're all humans and we're natural, and no, we're not natural, we're humans, right? We have a human nature, a fallen nature, since we live in a fallen world. So this meaning we're going to deal with battles like everybody else, and probably even worse since we're Christians. Or if you're not, when you do become a Christian, your battles will be even greater. But here's the thing. We have Christ to fight those battles with us. And that's the difference. And now, I've been battling this whole lust thing was battling this whole lust thing since I was in middle school. And I'm pretty sure 7th, 8th grade, that's when it's like your hormones start going crazy and testosterone starts kicking in. And as we can tell, testosterone can be a good thing, but it's also our biggest curse as well, because we have a high sex drive, right? And this doesn't help since we're not married. And I constantly had these thoughts of visualizing women in a certain way. And it kind of ruined the way I viewed women. Completely ruined the way I viewed women. Like you viewed them as, for lack of a better term, as objects. However that comes across to you, it's how it comes out. Viewed them as objects. And you could probably relate to this. We see them like, okay, what can we do with this woman? Or what can I do in order to further enhance, not further enhance, but for it to lead up to this? And we all know what the final destination of that is. So what tactics, what manipulation tactics, what riz can we use to get our final result? And whether you're realizing this or not, that's the reason why you're watching those videos in the first place. It's either that, or you're just piling up all that knowledge and information in order to get a wife in the future. But when you're in high school, that's the last thing you're thinking about. For me, at least. So, back to my personal story. I battled it for a long time, and I viewed women as objects, right? Like I said earlier. And this plagued my mind 24/7. Especially when you try to lay on your bed peacefully. And when you're about to fall asleep, it comes in. All those thoughts come in. All those lustful thoughts comes in. And here's where I get to the part where I tried to battle it, right? I tried to beat it, and I tried to have self-control, right? Like people say, you need to have self-control. You just need to stand still and do nothing. Or you need to focus on something else. Or do something else. Stay busy so it doesn't happen. Well, here's the thing. When you try to fight off something like that on your own doing, it tends up to come back to you even worse. It's like that right hook that you kept evading. He sees the opening, boom, strike, and strike, knocked out, gone, cold, and boom, you fell into temptation. And that cycle repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats. And you're tired of it. For like the first few years, not years, but maybe months, you were okay with it. And you're like, yeah, this is doing nothing. But then you're realizing that you have no discipline. You're feeling very not confident. You have a lack of self-esteem. It's very, very low. And now you view yourself as filthy and dirty, like I did. And when I viewed myself this way, it led to me downgrading myself and not viewing myself as Christ viewed me, right? But here's where I get to the part where fighting by our own strength leads exactly right back to where you started. Because that's what I did. I tried to stay busy. I tried to work out. I tried to read. I tried to watch something else. Nothing worked. I just kept coming I don't know, maybe it worked for a few days, weeks. And then it came back even stronger. And then from now on, it just got worse. Until this year. Until this year. Not I found, but God laid to me the solution. Finally beating it. And this is it right here. You need to fight. Anyways, you need to fight by his strength and with his strength. And by this, I mean focusing on God and not on the problem. Like I said, when you seek his kingdom and his righteousness, everything else will be added to you. So like that says in the scripture, you need to seek him and everything else would be added to you. So what I did, I started worshiping God even more because I love music. So I started playing worship music even more. Every single morning, I worshiped God. And I seeked him more and more and more. I read his word even more. I basically, what people say, fell in love with God. And when I did, everything changed. I stopped having thoughts like that for a long time. And I still don't now. Like I might get one, but then it just goes away. Because I know what to do. I know what to focus on. I know what to seek. I know where to find my strength. And I found it in God. And that's what I mean. You need to focus your attention, your soul onto God. Because when you take your focus off of it into something greater, something supernatural happens. There's no way I can explain it. But what I can say is that, exactly like the scripture says, everything else would be added to you. And it was. I swear that every time I see a woman, now, beautiful, good body, however you want to say it, I just see them as, wow, God created something beautiful. I don't see them as objects anymore. I just see them as what God created them to be. Woman is, they're fearfully and wonderfully made. Let's just put it that way. And I just view them that way now. And that's what God did to me. And I find it so outrageous because I got to a point where I'm like, wow, God really did bring me out of a thing that I thought was not possible. Because I thought I was never going to be able to beat this thing. And that's true. I won't. But He will. Through Him, I can do all things. Forgot what the scripture is, but it's pretty famous. Through Him, I can do all things. Through His strength. But just remember, Rolf, you're a man. You're attracted to feminine women. Accept that. You see them, take a glance. Oh, look at God. Look at what God created. Boom. You don't have to go up to them. You don't have to approach them. You can just sit and not admire, but yeah, admire, I guess. Admire what God has created. You don't have to do anything about it or to it. If it wasn't because of this so-called battle of lust, I would have never been able to reach that closeness to Him and rely on Him even more. Because that's basically what I do now, is just worship and seek His kingdom. And I notice that these things just disappear, supernaturally disappear. Now, supernaturally means something that we can't do in our own ability, something that can only be done through God. That's what my definition of supernatural means. You can look it up on Google, whatever. But that's what my definition of supernatural is. Just like healing the sick, I can't do that. Only God can do that. Fighting a battle I can't win, that's God, not me. Now that's what it means by supernatural strength, supernatural peace, and all these things, right? And supernatural wisdom. All these things you hear. And I want to keep talking and talking about nonsense. So I'll end it up right here. And remember, stay strong.